Sheryl Swoopes is back in the media talking Caitlin Clark again. And it's nice to see a positive outlook. I would definitely say that. Sometimes when we talk about the game of basketball, we're constantly talking about legends that are going after young players for their game, for what they bring to the WNBA, the impact, or the NBA. And historically, we see older legends talk about younger players in the games, and we hear them make their comments. And it comes from a sense of hate. Sometimes it comes from a sense of jealousy. Sometimes it comes from a sense of respect. And on this outlook, when we're talking about Sheryl Swoop, she's giving Caitlin Clark some respect, and also it's nice to see because Sheryl Swoopes is a legend. Caitlin Clark is on her way to becoming one of the best basketball players for the WNBA, face of the league right now, and her potential is going to be up there someday if she keeps working on her game and keeps developing. Going to be up there someday with Sheryl Swoopes. So Sheryl Swoopes is a part of the Nike family. She was the first ever basketball player to ever sign a signature shoe and also a Nike deal that allowed her to create signature shoes and have her own shoe deal. So she is one on one. She is generational. She is a pioneer to this game. And it's nice for her to have basically got on the podcast, and I'm going to read the article, basically got on the podcast and talking about how she never thought it would happen when we see these new women coming into the WNBA and are getting these big time shoe deals, and not just getting shoe deals and endorsements, but they're getting their own signature shoe. And even when you look at Sabrina Ionescu, who right now in the NBA, her shoes are the second most popular shoes worn from NBA players. That's how cold her shoe is. That's how the advanced technology on her shoe. And it just goes to show you that women can sell products, women can be personal brands, women have a lot more impact than most people think. So when we hear Sheryl Swoopes come in and talk about Caitlin Clark in a positive light, it's up to people that are analyzing the game to mention those things as well. Just like we mentioned when Sheryl Swoopes is talking her shit on Caitlin Clark or other WNBA players, we talk about that and we discuss that. But Sheryl Swoopes came out and had a podcast, and she stated that it's something that she never thought would see. And just to bring light into the situation, Sheryl Swoopes, first WNBA player to have her own signature shoe deal with Nike. That happened at, I believe it was 1995. And then we had Candace Parker, Deanna Taurasi, Breonna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Aja Wilson. Now we have the newcomers in Caitlin Clark and also Andrew Reese having their own signature shoe deal. And it's just very important. And I'm going to read the article to show you guys because it is a little shocking because a lot of times when we hear Sheryl Swoopes talk about Caitlin Clark, it's not in the most positive way. So this is a positive outlook. This is a way that she's shining light on Sheryl Swoopes and also Caitlin Clark and also Nike in general, because nobody does it like Nike at the end of the day. And when you're part of that family, when you're part of that brand, it's important for all parties to shine positive light on to the brand ambassadors for Nike. And this is what Sheryl Swoopes is doing when she's having a conversation on a podcast talking about Caitlin Clark is something that she would never seen before. Let's get to it. Three-time MVP Sheryl Swoopes courted controversy last year for her comments on Caitlin Clark, but is now giving her thoughts on the Indiana Fever's record-breaking Nike deal. Now, before to give you some backstory on Caitlin Clark's record-breaking deal, she signed an 8-year, $28 million signature shoe deal with Nike and endorsement deal with Nike, which is already not worth her value. I would definitely say that. I feel like hopefully it's a clause within the contract where she can get an opt out and possibly make some more money, because the 8-year, $28 million deal that Nike signed Caitlin Clark was extremely low and under her value. I think once she gets out of this deal, potentially she has an opt out clause. Hopefully she does. She's going to be the first woman in history to sign a signature shoe deal or a Nike deal for $100 million. I think that is I think the start is anywhere between 70 to 80 million, but I think $100 million is going to be what Caitlin Clark is going to sign her next shoe deal because of her popularity, because her being the face of the league, and not just in the WNBA. She's the face of basketball, in my opinion, and she's going to continue to be the face of basketball because she's an American star, and all of the older guys, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, guys who are already right now deemed the face of the league, even though they're in their twilight years, it doesn't seem like we have a legitimate basketball player that's going to take the mantle and have the popularity be bigger than Caitlin Clark. Maybe they haven't came into the league yet, but as of right now, Caitlin Clark is not just the face of the WNBA. To me, she's the face of basketball outside of LeBron James and Stephen Curry, which goes to show you how crazy her impact is. So, once again, Sheryl Swoopes, controversy things that she had said over this past year about Caitlin Clark, and I have nothing wrong with the hate that Sheryl Swoopes has or comments, because at the end of the day, we have hate, we have media members talk about players not in a positive light, and nobody blinks an eye. So that's part of how the media is kind of covered the game for basketball in the modern day era, in the social media day era. So it's happened on the WNBA side. So it's just like, it is what it is, but it's good to see Sheryl Swoopes being a Nike ambassador, being the first woman to ever sign a signature shoe deal to highlight Caitlin Clark in a positive way. So let's get to it. This is talking about all the controversy that she's talked about with Clark. But A'ja Wilson celebrated her launch of her own Nike signature shoe. Ambassador Swoopes gave a nod to Clark, concentrating on her deal. Let's see. I feel so lucky to be part of Nike's family for more than 30 years. I love to see how the brand continues to champion women's basketball and the athletes who played at Swoopes express. Last week, in case you missed it, with Williams' podcast, Swoopes went on. What really excites me about where we are is not just the things that the women are getting on the court. You have all these women and brands who are saying, we see you, we hear you, we need you. And that's what the same sentiment that I echoed earlier in the stream. It's what we're seeing with these brands, what we're seeing with these partnerships with all these great women athletes is that people are highlighting them, people are seeing them, and also it doesn't matter the gender because people are going to buy a great product. The A'ja Wilson ones, the A1s, those look very, very special. People are going to go out and buy that product. Men, women, boys, girls, whatever the case may be, because if the product is great, people will support. We're seeing that right now with Sabrina Escu, who has the coldest basketball shoe in the game right now, hands down. Probably the best shoe since I feel like Nike's Kyrie shoes. That's how cold Sabrina Escu's basketball shoe is. And once again, it is the second most popular shoe in the NBA. Sabrina Escu is a WNBA player. She has the second most popular shoe in the NBA outside of the Kobe Bryant shoes. So the most of the NBA players in the National Basketball Association are wearing Sabrina Escu shoes. That's how popular it is. But let's get to it. So you have the Angel Reese, the Caitlin Clarks, the Gigi Carrots, the Rike Jacksons, the Asians doing things that we could only dream of. My first Nike contract when I signed in 95 was like $175,000, which is like, oh my God, I've made it, right? Just that's crazy to think about. 1995, Sheryl Swoopes became the first ever WNBA player to have their signature shoe for $175,000. Caitlin Clark just signed an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike to have her signature shoe within the upcoming years. And I just said that was a signing that is not undervalues her, basically. I basically that was a signing that is not good for her overall value or overall market, which it is, which it isn't. So it just goes to show you that $175,000, and we're talking about Caitlin Clark's 8-year, $28 million deal is below her value, which it is. And I feel like, I'm going to say it again, Caitlin Clark is going to be the first ever woman to sign a $100 million shoe deal in the future. Let's get to it. And today, to see a player like AJ and Caitlin Clark sign a $20 million contract, like I don't even know what to say about that because I never thought I would see this day when we started the W back in 1997. We're sending, some of these, where we are, like, poorly written article, Irish Star, get it together. We're sitting here actually talking about these multi-million-dollar contracts that female basketball players are now signing. Clark inked a landmark deal for the WNBA and Nike in April last year, rumored to be valued around $28 million over 8 years. Before committing to Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas were both contenders to Clark's endorsement. So this goes to show you, Sheryl Swoopes is saying this is something that she never thought she would have saw back in her day, and it's great. It shows the beautifulness of growth. It shows the beautifulness of every WNBA player who has paved the way to help allow this league to grow and allow this league to be what it is today. Because without the pioneers, without all these people that played in the WNBA prior to the surge that we just got, which I believe the 2024 WNBA draft class is the most important draft class in WNBA history, because not just the talent, but also the impact for its marketability, brand endorsement deals, personal brands, and also just bringing new eyes to the game. Incredible moments that are happening right now in the WNBA game. Phillips says Sheryl Swoopes is starting to get tired of looking like an old, tired, bitter, pathetic racist. She's always left a shit stain on her legacy. Give her okay. So she's first and foremost, we're not doing that within the comments. We're gonna keep the comments respectful. You can say what you want, but at the end of the day, let's keep the comments respectful. Sheryl Swoopes has came out and has been said a lot of controversial things about Caitlin Clark. Some of the things that she said weren't true. Some points that she made were valid. It just depends on what party is listening, what party is taking away from everything that she is saying. Not everything that Sheryl Swoopes has said has been right. Not everything that Sheryl Swoopes has said has been wrong. But I say this again. Within the NBA game, within basketball in general, we have people, Skip Bayless, who've made multi-million dollars basically hating on LeBron James his entire career. Hardly says anything positive about LeBron James. Constantly shit about LeBron James. Constantly comparing LeBron James to this person, that person. And what that has done within the media has you created a whole bunch of little mini-me's. Skip Bayless minions have gone out and have also done that with LeBron James, with Stephen Curry, with Kevin Durant, with now Caitlin Clark. So what you have within basketball, you're not going to always have people that's going to shine positivity. You're going to have people that's going to bring negativity. And to be honest, the best players in the world, like Caitlin Clark is, like LeBron James is, like Stephen Curry, like Kevin Durant, you're going to get love, you're going to get hate, because at the end of the day, that's what greatness is about. Greatness is about having fans, supporters, love. But greatness is also about having haters, people preying on your downfall, people wanting you to choke. It's a balance that comes with being the best. If you don't have any pressure, if you don't have any expectation, if you don't have any haters, it's something you're not doing right. So, and we talk about the impact of the WNBA in the 2024 draft class, and it just came out earlier this week that they're moving the games between Indiana and Chicago Sky to the Bulls United Center. Games will now be played at the largest arena in the NBA. When we talk about the impact, when we talk about the growth, when we talk about the WNBA, which was the number one fastest growing brand in 2024, this is what we're talking about. People are going to say, like, most is bogus because of Caitlin Clark and her impact, her marketability, her greatness. I would say, yes, that is true. But also it's because of Angel Reese as well. My mother texted me the other day, said she went to McDonald's and got the Angel Reese meal just to support Angel Reese. My mama does not watch the WNBA, but she's supporting Angel Reese, and she started watching some games. She watched like 2 games last year, and both those games was with Chicago Sky because she likes Angel Reese as a basketball player. You got millions of people that feel the same way that my mom feels as watching the game of the WNBA because of Angel Reese. You got millions of people that have watching the game that never cared about the WNBA or women's basketball or maybe basketball in general that are watching the game with Caitlin Clark. So these 2 women have been very impactful for the growth of this entire league that once again in 2024, this past year, was the most growing organization, business in the world sports league in the world last year. And that's largely due because of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and also the entirety of this 2024 draft class, because you just don't have 2 top 5 players in merchandise sales in Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. But what you have is a draft class that talent, game, is also going to change the game of the WNBA. That's just a simple. Kia Jackson, Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and then we have upcoming players that are going to enter the WNBA that's going to help the game grow. I've said this several different times that Caitlin Clark is not just good enough for the WNBA to have one Caitlin Clark. They need multiple. They need multiple players that can bring eyes to the game. The brand of basketball didn't grow because you had Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. You had those 2, then you had Isaiah Thomas, then you had Michael Jordan, then you had Hakeem, you had Shaq, then you had Kobe. Like the brand of the WNBA, you need stars. You need stars to come in and help that generator, that baby goat, that one-on-one talent, Caitlin Clark. She may sit on the throne, but she also needs players to help build up the entire sport so we can have the game grow to a height that has never been seen. And we have that with the 2024 rookie draft class from last year that featured Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And we're going to have that with the upcoming 2027 draft class that is coming in 2 years as well. And we'll talk about Juju Watkins a little later because that girl is special and she is coming. So shout outs to Angel Reese, shout outs to Caitlin Clark, shout out to Chicago Sky, shout outs to the Indiana Fever for moving their games to the biggest NBA arena in the world. And it's going to be crazy when they sell it out. I can't wait to see the attendance. I can't wait to see the games. And also, I believe we haven't seen much of Caitlin Clark as of late, but I know she's in the gym. I know she's getting better. But watching Angel Reese, who in her rival, she's showing that superstar potential that I've talked about several times before. She can start working on her finishing ability around the rim. She has the potential someday to be a 20-12 basketball player in the WNBA. Her potential is scary as well. She's not a finished product, as most people would like to say. So that's that on that. Juju Watkins. We're talking if people want to say that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is a Larry Bird and Magic Johnson rival, or those type of players, not game-wise, of course, but if people want to say that, then Juju Watkins is Michael Jordan. Juju Watkins is special. I've never seen a woman basketball player like her before. She is talented. She is skilled. She has the size, the quickness, the shot-making ability, the handle, the strength, the athleticism, the change of direction, speed, and she's learning that she's going to be a force defensively. She's learning that this year at the college game in her sophomore season. This may sound crazy to some people, but if you really watch the game of basketball, if you really study, analyze the game, and you're watching the game, Juju Watkins, if she came out this season, she would be a top 10 WNBA player right now. That's how talented she is. That's how skilled she is. That's how cold she is. And that's no disrespect to the women in the WNBA. But Juju Watkins can play in the league right now. And I said she would be a top 10 WNBA player. I'm being modest by saying top 10. That's how cold she is. She is a certified bucket. She is different. When I say different, when I say different, I mean different. And like watching the UCLA game versus USC game, it was a sight to behold. And I'm gonna show y'all some of the highlights if you didn't catch it. But it was beautiful.
Yeah, stop and factor. It's such a big strength of UCLA, so their second chance opportunities is something that USC needs to be very mindful of.
Oh boy, USC has 10 wins by 30 plus this year. Here is Watkins.
Coming off the screen, getting to her spot, shooting over the top of the defender.
Pull up.
Complementary players. There's a reason these are the number 2 and number 4 teams in the country.
Juju got caught midair, got the kick out.
And that's the elevation of her game that she has to work on is her passing ability. And that can come over time because she's seen the toughest coverage in the league already for it's like doubles and being triple team. If you watch USC games, the coverage that she faces is crazy. I've never seen a college basketball player face the coverage that Juju Watkins faces.
Go through for UCLA. Like I said, they're a composed team.
Juju
Watkins isn't quite as involved.
She wants it here. She's got it. Catch and shoot. And it's a bullseye.
Doing her work before the catch, it is nearly impossible to stop.
Juju.
She just comfortable. And I'm not going to play the whole thing. Y'all can go watch her. She's just comfortable with her game. She's very smooth. She can come off pin downs and hit open jump shots, catch and shoot, coming off screens. She is special, man. She is different. And Phillips in the comments talk about most of the early women in WNBA, like Caitlin Amara, did nothing to grow the league and make the role easy for future players. People got to understand the league is making the league easy for future players. Like the league has been a league that hasn't been financially really successful, and the NBA has been backing and giving support even this year with the success of the WNBA. So it's not that players haven't made the league better or for future players that are coming, it's harder in comparison to the NBA. So it is what it is. Make sure y'all go like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Mike K. Smith, also known as AKISS. Follow me on AKISS NBA and all the social media platforms, always talking to NBA and the WNBA. I'll leave you with this. Faith without works is dead. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding, and always acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Always remember, Jesus is king. Shout out to all my truth tellers in the chat. I appreciate Philip getting in there, getting active. All the Wizard gang, I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all support. I'm out.